was the pizza delivery guy, sir. So that's passion, but we have to be careful about how we use that passion. So, enough about that. Let's talk about compassion. Compassion really is recognizing and acknowledging the suffering or the pain of somebody and being willing to try to alleviate that pain. Does that make sense? Compassion. And that doesn't mean I'm taking on the pain. It doesn't mean I'm taking on the suffering. It doesn't mean I'm succumbing to that condition that's causing that in the other person. It just means that I recognize that there's something going on, there's some suffering involved here, and I have a true and honest belief that that pain should be alleviated and I can do something about it. So, it's not to say we have to be miracle workers, because we don't. We are, but we don't have to display it here and check off the boxes. Okay, I did this step, this step, this step. I'm a miracle worker. No, but we do have to help another through a trying time. And how do we do that if we're not taking on that condition? Really, sometimes it's just as simple as just being there. We've all had trying times. And what's the greatest thing that can happen in a trying time? Well, the greatest thing would be it just disappears. That's, once again, I'd like to remind you we're here in this world. And that's not always going to happen, although sometimes it does. But really, what we want to hear is somebody telling us, I see you, I hear you, I feel you. And I'm going to do whatever I can to help you through this. I'm not adopting it, I'm not taking this on as my own. And I'm not really even commiserating. I'm just going to be there for you. We just came out of a drought. Everybody remember that?
Yeah.
We had this horrid drought. And we came out of it. And for us, there wasn't a lot of difference. Other than it was really sunny and no raining for a long time. But to people like up in the Central Valley, it was very important because that's farmland. Well, right after the drought was over, it rained and 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 it rained, which it does to end the drought. And everybody's jumping for joy and they're all happy. And they can't wait, the farmers, they just can't wait to get out there and do what they do. Grow crops. So a couple of days after the rain stopped, old Farmer Jones, he jumps on his tractor and he gets out to work his field, and it seems he was a little premature. The ground wasn't really that hard yet. Again, it was kind of soggy still from all the rain. And don't you know, he gets his tractor stuck. And he's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It seemed like the harder he tried to get out, the stucker he got. Can you relate to that, by the way? Because I can. So he gets really stuck and he just can't get his tractor out, and he sends his son over to the neighboring farm to bring back help. So the neighboring farmer comes back over with his tractor and he looks at it. He says, "Wow, Jones, you're really stuck. I don't know if I can get you out of this or not. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try. We're going to chain you up. I'm going to try to get you out of this. And if I can't, I'm just going to come over there and sit in the mud with you." And sometimes that's all we need. We need someone just to try. And if it doesn't work, just come sit in the mud with me. You ever had that where, sometimes you don't even have to say anything. To show kindness and compassion, You don't have to say anything. You just have to be there. Just your presence is there. Kind of sort of saying, I see you, I hear you, I feel you, I know. And let's just sit here and get through this together. You know, the entire vision and mission and ministry of the master teacher, Jesus, 2,000 years ago, was love, forgiveness, and compassion. But sometimes if we kind of lose sight of the love part that Jesus so readily and continuously spoke of, we're going to lose that part about the forgiveness and the compassion also. So we have to pay attention to make sure that we are paying attention. Because sometimes it's just the intention. If you meet somebody who's in an issue, sometimes just your intention can help them out of that. Heartfelt intention. There's three things to think about in compassion. Here's what we know. To show compassion, we have to be aware. We have to be aware that there's an issue, that there's something at hand. And then we have to have empathy for that person. Kind of like putting ourselves in their shoes. And then the third thing is action. To take action. And again, sometimes action might be only just opening your heart to whatever might show its way. It is a possibility coming out of this. So, I know a lot of times people ask, well, how do you do this? You know, how do I get good at this? Well, I just wanted to say, speaking of values, our values are and become our spiritual practices. So compassion is a spiritual practice. Keyword, practice. How do we do it? We get in the habit of recognizing when there's something going on. We get in the habit of not judging that person. We get in the habit of wishing the best and doing what we can, even if that doesn't seem like a lot physically. So we just have to be ready to swing into action, if action is appropriate, other than just being there. So we got awareness, empathy, and action. And I know the next question usually is, yeah, but what about those who just don't deserve it? You know? What about those who really hurt us about something? Okay, anybody ever had anyone like that in their life? If they really hurt you, maybe they've been dishonest, maybe they've really just, you know, like the scorched earth thing with your relationship. And the only thing I can say about that is we have to get rid of that thought that somebody is not deserving of compassion. And yes, those who have hurt us the most, they count too. Because compassion is not just about them. Compassion says more about us. Now it's true, if we're compassionate towards someone, they are going to reap the benefit of that. They're going to get the enjoyment of that. But we're going to get so much more. Because when we are compassionate toward those who really don't deserve it in our world, if we're not compassionate to them, we're kind of moving a little bit back from our higher self. We have to have the courage and the conviction of our spiritual practice to be compassionate to them who have hurt us the most. And if we can't, again, it doesn't speak about them.